Hello, this is Sleepy Health, and tonight, we're going to drift gently into one of the most mysterious and life-sustaining elements inside your body, your blood. As you settle in, let your breath soften, let your shoulders release the weight of the day, and allow yourself to float slowly into that warm, drowsy space where learning feels effortless and the body begins to unwind. Imagine your body glowing faintly from within, as though a soft, red-gold warmth is gently circulating beneath your skin. This glow represents your blood, constantly moving, constantly nourishing, constantly whispering life into every corner of your body. Even while you rest, even while you sleep, even while your mind drifts into the deepest quiet, your blood continues its journey. Tonight, we're going to wander slowly through that inner river, exploring what blood truly is, how it travels, what it carries, why it reacts to emotions, and how it supports everything from the warmth in your fingers to the clarity of your thoughts. Let your mind drift lightly, as if floating on a slow, gentle current. Picture your bloodstream as a vast network of glowing pathways, stretching through your body like a constellation turned inward. Every vessel, every branching river, every pulsing channel works together in a perfect rhythm, a quiet and ancient choreography that began long before you were born and will continue for every moment of your life. Blood is not just a liquid, it is a living story. A story made of cells, signals, nutrients, hormones, memories of past illnesses, echoes of emotions, and the constant movement of oxygen, the breath of your tissues. Deep inside this river, red blood cells drift calmly, tiny discs carrying oxygen in a gentle embrace. Each one lives for about 120 days, traveling millions of miles inside you before it eventually reaches the end of its journey. Then new ones take their place, created in the soft, hidden world of your bone marrow, the inner workshop of your body where life is continually shaped and renewed. Imagine that place now, the inside of your bones glowing warmly, producing fresh new cells, like tiny sparks being released into your bloodstream, ready to take on their essential role. White blood cells move differently, slower, more careful, like guardians patrolling quiet corridors. They notice when something is off, when a signal is wrong, when an intruder tries to enter. They are the protectors of your inner world, responding, adapting, learning, and remembering. Your immune system is not just a defense, it is a memory of everything your body has survived. Platelets add another layer to this story, flowing calmly until the moment they are needed. When a vessel is damaged, even slightly, platelets awaken instantly, rushing to the area and forming a protective seal. It is quiet, automatic, and precise, a reminder of how many small things your body does without you ever noticing. And through all these cells flows plasma, the clear golden fluid that carries nutrients, hormones, proteins, and messages from one part of your body to another. Plasma is like the gentle breeze inside your bloodstream, invisible, yet always moving, always connecting distant places, always balancing and supporting. Feel your breath sinking with this internal flow, slow, steady, peaceful. With every inhale, imagine oxygen entering your lungs, dissolving into your blood, joining the countless red cells waiting to carry it to every tissue. With every exhale, imagine carbon dioxide leaving your body effortlessly, a smooth release of what you no longer need. Let this rhythm soften you. Let it carry you. Now notice how your emotions move through your blood as well. When you feel stressed, your bloodstream fills with adrenaline and cortisol, preparing your muscles and heart for action. When you feel calm, your blood carries oxytocin, serotonin, and other gentle, soothing chemicals that settle your nervous system and relax your muscles. Blood is the messenger between your mind and your body, constantly translating thoughts into physical signals. Picture this now. Every emotion you've ever felt, every moment of joy, sadness, excitement, or fear, all of them have flowed through your bloodstream at some point, touching every cell, leaving faint echoes of experience within your body. And yet, your blood never stops renewing itself. Old cells are replaced. Old chemicals are cleared. Old patterns fade. Your bloodstream is constantly offering you a fresh beginning. Let that idea sink in for a moment, the concept that every few months, almost every drop of blood inside you is new. You are always changing, always refreshing, always healing in ways you can't feel directly. As you breathe more slowly, imagine drifting alongside a single red blood cell, watching it travel through your veins. Picture the smooth tunnels, the gentle curves, the soft pulsing movements of your heartbeat guiding it forward. The heart, the vessels, the blood, all of them working together in a rhythm you have never consciously controlled. The softness of that movement brings a sense of peace, a sense of safety, a sense of continuity that has carried you every moment of your life. As you float deeper into this inner landscape, feel your body settling into a heavier, warmer state. Your limbs soften, your muscles loosen, your mind quiets. You feel the warm river of your blood surrounding every organ, every piece of tissue, every tiny cell, holding you gently from the inside out. As you continue drifting through this quiet inner world, imagine yourself approaching the heart, the warm, rhythmic center of your circulation. You don't see it as a harsh pump or a mechanical machine. Instead, you see it as a glowing chamber of soft light, pulsing gently in the darkness, guiding every drop of blood with a steady, ancient rhythm. Your heart has been beating since before you were born. It began its first soft flutter around 5 weeks into your existence, a tiny pulse in a tiny body, and it hasn't paused once since then. Every moment of your life, every emotion, every memory, every dream, your heart has been there, quietly keeping you alive. Now, imagine approaching it more closely. You notice that the heart has 4 calm, fluid rooms, 2 atria at the top and 2 ventricles at the bottom. Blood flows through them like warm light moving between chambers in a lantern. The right side of the heart receives blood that has given away its oxygen, guiding it gently toward the lungs. The left side receives fresh, oxygen-rich blood and sends it out into your entire body, filling your tissues with warmth and energy. Picture the way the valves open and close, soft, smooth, perfectly timed. No noise, no effort, just an effortless rhythm that repeats itself around 100,000 times every day without you needing to think about it. Your heart does not demand your attention. It simply asks for calm, for breath, for space. And as you imagine this soft pulsing motion, feel your own heartbeat slowing slightly, becoming deeper, more consistent, more relaxed. The calmer your breath becomes, the calmer your heart responds. Now follow the blood as it leaves the heart and travels into your arteries. Imagine each artery as a warm, flexible pathway, glowing from within. They are strong enough to carry blood under pressure, yet soft enough to expand and contract with your heartbeat. Over time, these arteries branch into smaller vessels, and then into capillaries, the delicate, whisper-thin bridges between blood and tissue. In the capillaries, the blood moves slowly, almost gently, drifting through tiny tunnels where oxygen slips out of the red cells and enters your muscles, your organs, your skin. This is where life actually happens, in these microscopic exchanges, millions at a time, second after second. The blood picks up carbon dioxide in exchange, carrying it away like a quiet cleanup crew, making sure nothing stagnant remains. And then the capillaries merge again, forming small veins, then larger ones, guiding the blood back toward the heart, slower now, calmer, helped by the gentle squeeze of your muscles and the tiny valves that keep everything moving in the right direction. Picture this cycle repeating endlessly inside you, a soft, circular dance that supports your entire existence. Now let yourself drift into a deeper, quieter area of this landscape. Imagine floating beside millions of red blood cells, not as objects, but as soft, flexible discs that bend and twist, slipping through vessels thinner than a strand of hair. They never stop moving, never stop working, never stop delivering the breath of life. Each one has traveled from your heart to your toe, to your ear, to your skin, to your organs, and back again thousands of times. And yet each one is so tiny that millions fit in a single drop of blood. Let your thoughts soften as you picture this. Let any stress you carry begin to dissolve into the same rhythm your blood follows. Each inhale fills your bloodstream with fresh oxygen. Each exhale releases tension your body no longer needs. Now notice how your blood communicates with your emotions. When you feel anxious, the blood pulls your resources toward your muscles and away from digestion, preparing you to run or defend yourself. When you feel safe, the blood redistributes, flowing calmly to your stomach, your skin, your brain, allowing you to rest, to repair, to process memories. Your blood is a storyteller of your emotional state, always shifting, always reflecting what you feel. Even love, that warmth you feel in your chest, the heat in your face when you blush, all of it is carried through your bloodstream in the form of hormones and signals that move from your brain to your heart, to your skin, to your fingertips. Blood is not emotion, but it is the messenger your emotions use. And as you imagine these signals drifting through your vessels, feel your entire body softening further, releasing into the safety of this quiet moment. Now picture your blood at night when you sleep. During deep sleep, your heart slows down, your blood pressure decreases, and your bloodstream focuses on repair. Damaged cells are cleared away. Inflammation begins to calm. The brain flushes out waste through a gentle rinsing process that only happens while you're deeply asleep. Your blood becomes the nighttime caretaker of your body, flowing with a quieter purpose, carrying away what is old and delivering what is needed for renewal. Let yourself melt into that idea that your body heals silently through the flow of your own blood. You don't have to try. You don't have to force anything. This renewal happens naturally, simply by resting, simply by breathing. And as your mind drifts further, imagine traveling through your bloodstream again, but this time noticing the harmony, the balance between cells, the slow movement, the glowing warmth. You are held inside this river, supported by it, sustained by it. And as you settle a little further into the quiet, you might notice how comforting it feels to think about something so constant, something so quietly devoted to you. Blood is like a gentle river that never sleeps, a soft current that drifts through hidden valleys inside you, carrying warmth, carrying protection, carrying life itself with a kind of patient devotion. From the moment you were formed, long before you took your first breath, this river began flowing, poolsing in slow waves, delivering the first whispers of oxygen to your growing cells. It is almost poetic how blood became your very first companion, a quiet guardian that has stayed with you every moment since. Deep inside your bones, in the soft red marrow that feels almost like a secret garden, new blood cells are grown every day. Millions of them, blooming like tiny red petals, forming in the dark, then drifting outward to join the flow. The red cells carry oxygen, the white cells watch over you, and the platelets stand ready to heal. And they all work together so seamlessly that it feels like watching a team of ancient protectors moving in perfect harmony through candlelit halls. If you imagine your veins as long, winding corridors, you might picture the red blood cells gliding through them like small lanterns, glowing softly with the oxygen they hold. Each time they reach your lungs, they refill themselves like travelers returning to a warm inn, gathering fresh oxygen, then heading out again across the landscape of your body. They do this without ever complaining, without pausing, without asking for praise. They simply serve you, quietly, tirelessly, faithfully. And within this gentle system, your heart stands like an old rhythmic storyteller, sending out calm pulses of guidance. With every beat, it whispers, "Go on," and the blood obeys, carrying nutrients, memories encoded in chemistry, heat from your core, and a subtle sense of balance that helps you feel safe. Blood also holds stories, stories of your ancestry, your evolution, the long path that brought humanity here. Long ago, the blood of early humans adapted to help them survive shifting climates, changing landscapes, new challenges. It carried iron because iron binds oxygen so beautifully, transforming the blood into a natural transporter of life. It developed immunity patterns based on the environments people lived in, shaping blood types that helped defend them against certain diseases. Even your blood type is like a quiet fingerprint of your evolutionary journey, a little clue about the battles your ancestors survived. And deep within this river, there is warmth, not just physical warmth, but a kind of emotional comfort, like knowing that something is always looking out for you. When you get too cold, your blood shifts toward your core, wrapping your inner organs in a blanket of heat. When you get too warm, it moves toward your skin, releasing the extra warmth into the air around you. It is always adjusting, always trying to bring you back to balance. Even your mood is touched by blood. Hormones drift through it like soft messages, carrying signals of calm, signals of rest, signals of peace when you need them most. If you've ever felt yourself slowly relaxing at the end of a long day, part of that feeling comes from your blood delivering these soothing chemical messages to your brain. And perhaps the most fascinating thing is how your blood renews itself. Every drop of it is replaced over time, meaning that the river flowing through you today is not the same river that flowed through you years ago. You are constantly being refreshed from the inside, constantly being rebuilt, constantly becoming new without even realizing it. It is one of the quiet miracles of being human, this gentle, endless renewal happening beneath the surface. So as you breathe slowly now, you might imagine your blood moving with a softer, slower rhythm, drifting like a peaceful tide. Each breath deepens the calm, and each heartbeat becomes a steady whisper in the distance, guiding the river of your life through the night. If you listen closely to that inner quiet, you might almost sense how your blood behaves like an entire hidden universe, one that never asks for your attention yet works endlessly to keep you safe. And as we drift deeper into that universe, we find new layers of wonder, moving slowly, calmly, like floating through a dimly lit cathedral carved from living tissue. Inside this vast inner world, your white blood cells act like gentle guardians. They do not rush or panic. Instead, they move with a soft, deliberate awareness, almost like wise old watchers patrolling quiet halls. When something unfamiliar enters your body, a tiny intruder, a particle of dust, a stray microbe, the white cells respond with a sense of calm purpose. They surround it, study it, learn from it, and neutralize it, keeping you safe without you ever feeling the battle. It's almost soothing to realize that your immune system is not chaotic at all. It's graceful. It's intentional. It remembers what has hurt you before and quietly prepares in case it returns. Some cells become long-term memory keepers, holding the story of past threats, like librarians cataloging old history books so that your body can respond instantly the next time. And all of this happens silently, beneath your resting breath. Then there are the platelets, small, gentle builders of repair. You can imagine them as tiny craftsmen carrying soft golden threads. Whenever you have a small cut or a scratch, they rush to the scene almost like caring friends, weaving a delicate net to stop the bleeding. But their work is not harsh or frantic. It's calm, precise, almost elegant. They form a light scaffolding, and the body uses that as a foundation to heal itself, layer by layer, until the skin closes again. And deeper still, we can follow the blood as it flows through your organs. When it reaches your brain, it carries fresh oxygen with the same tenderness a parent uses when leaving a blanket over a sleeping child. It gives your brain clarity, energy, focus, even your dreams. The patterns of your sleep are shaped in part by how smoothly blood delivers oxygen to the resting mind, feeding each neural spark, each drifting thought, each soft, unfurling dream. When it flows through your muscles, blood brings strength and relief. It washes away the quiet fatigue that gathers throughout the day, sweeping metabolic byproducts like dust being carried down a river. At night, when you rest, the blood's work becomes even gentler, more restorative, almost like a soft rain that washes over tired fields, nourishing and repairing what has been strained. Your liver receives blood like a silent storyteller welcoming visitors. It listens to the chemical stories in the bloodstream, filtering toxins, adjusting nutrients, balancing hormones. The liver doesn't simply clean your blood, it fine-tunes it, making sure that every drop returning to the heart carries harmony and balance. And then there is the evolution of blood, its quiet, ancient history. Long before humans walked the earth, even before the earliest animals grew limbs or eyes, primitive organisms had simple fluid systems, just small currents diffusing oxygen from their surroundings. Over millions of years, those systems expanded, becoming more complex, more coordinated. Eventually, the earliest vertebrates developed hemoglobin, the iron-rich molecule that gives your blood its warm red color. That iron, once forged in the hearts of old stars, now flows through you, linking your existence to the cosmos in a quiet, poetic way. Different species evolved different colors of blood depending on their environments. Some have blue blood, some green, some violet. But humans and most mammals stayed with red because iron binds oxygen with exceptional efficiency. Over countless generations, this red river carried our ancestors through ice ages, deserts, rainforests, mountains. It adapted to altitude, to climate, to disease. It helped early humans survive harsh winters, long migrations, unpredictable climates. The blood you have now is the product of all those journeys, all those battles, all those quiet victories. And yet, despite its long history, blood still feels deeply personal, something warm and familiar. As you lie here, breathing softly, your blood is still flowing with that same steady rhythm, the same patient devotion, the same quiet promise to keep you alive, protected, balanced, and whole. As you continue to drift through this inner landscape, the blood becomes even more fascinating, almost mysterious, like a silent library filled with hidden volumes. And among the most intriguing of these are the rare blood types, quiet, uncommon variations that exist like secret languages spoken by only a small part of humanity. Most people are familiar with the basic groups, A, B, AB, and O, but within that familiar structure, there are subtler layers, antigens, proteins, tiny markers on the surface of red blood cells that tell the body who it belongs to. These markers act like soft identification badges. When your blood meets blood that carries different markers, your immune system can sense the mismatch and quietly prepares to defend you. But within those familiar groups lies a world of rare variations that feel almost mythical. One of the rarest is the Rh type, sometimes called golden blood. Only a few dozen people in the entire world have it. It's not golden in color. Your blood always remains its warm, familiar red, but it's precious because it lacks all Rh antigens. People with this type can donate to almost anyone with rare Rh variations, making them universal donors in the rarest sense. But receiving blood is difficult for them, because only someone with the same rare type can give it. It's as if their blood is a quiet, rare star, glowing in a corner of human genetics, unique and irreplaceable. Another rare type is the Bombay phenotype, found mostly in small populations. People with this type appear to be type O at first glance, but they quietly lack a foundational antigen called H. This means they cannot receive blood even from regular O donors. Their blood behaves like a hidden key that only matches with others who carry the same rare pattern. There are also quiet, regional blood types, dozens of them, each shaped by ancestry, environment, and the subtle forces of evolution. Some blood types became common in certain regions because they offered protection from old diseases like malaria. Others faded away as populations moved, mixed, or adapted to different climates. In this sense, your blood carries a gentle genetic memory of where your ancestors lived, what they survived, and how their bodies learned to protect themselves, generation after generation. As you imagine these rare variations, your own blood continues flowing with its steady warmth, its soft rhythm. It travels through the long highways of your arteries and returns through the calmer streams of your veins. And each drop carries not only oxygen but also messages, chemical whispers that help regulate mood, energy, and emotional balance. When you're stressed, hormones like cortisol drift into your bloodstream, changing the way your heart beats, the way your muscles feel, the way your thoughts settle. When you feel calm, your blood carries signals that loosen tension, slow your breathing, and soften your senses. In a way, your blood is a bridge between your physical body and your emotions. Even your warmth, your body temperature, is carried and shared by your blood. When you feel embarrassed, blood rushes gently to your face, creating a blush. When you're cold, it draws closer to the core, protecting your vital organs. When you're frightened, it flows to your muscles, preparing them to react. And when you feel love, connection, excitement, your heart pumps a little faster, and your blood carries hormones that create warmth, softness, and closeness within you. Each of these reactions is subtle, but they sculpt your emotional landscape gently, like waves shaping sand. Your blood also has an astonishing ability to renew itself. Every second, your bone marrow produces about 2 to 3 million new red blood cells, releasing them into your bloodstream like fresh petals drifting into a river. Old cells are quietly removed by the spleen, a soft, hidden organ that works like a peaceful caretaker, recycling what has aged and allowing space for the new. This renewal never stops. Day and night, awake or asleep, your blood regenerates in silence, maintaining a delicate balance that keeps your entire body steady and healthy. Even your plasma, the liquid portion of your blood, is a masterpiece of design. It carries nutrients from your food to all corners of your body. It transports hormones that guide your growth, your mood, your sleep. It brings proteins that help heal, defend, and nourish. It even carries waste away, delivering it softly to the kidneys and liver so it can be filtered and released. Plasma is like the soft water of a quiet stream, clear, steady, and essential. And there is something beautiful in the idea that this fluid, this constantly circulating river within you, is what keeps each organ alive. Your brain, delicate and intricate, depends entirely on the flow of blood. Just a few minutes without it, and the brain would fade. But because your blood keeps rising and falling with your breath, your brain stays bright, alive, dreaming. Your muscles depend on the blood for energy, glycogen, oxygen, electrolytes, like tiny lanterns being refueled so they can continue glowing. Your skin receives nutrients from the blood that keep it warm, hydrated, and soft. Even your bones, which feel silent and solid, are alive and constantly nourished by tiny blood vessels woven inside. Your entire body, from the softest tissue to the strongest bone, is deeply dependent on the quiet devotion of your bloodstream. And maybe the most comforting thought of all is this: your blood never sleeps. While you rest, While you close your eyes, while your thoughts drift like clouds, your blood remains awake. It moves gently, tirelessly, tending to you in the background. You can imagine it now, flowing, circling, carrying warmth from your heart outward, then returning calmly, like a tide that never breaks. As you continue drifting through this quiet inner world, imagine your blood moving with an even deeper sense of purpose, carrying not only life but wisdom shaped over millions of years. One of the most extraordinary things it does is clotting, this delicate, silent ability to protect you the moment your skin opens, the moment a vessel is damaged. Picture it like this. Your blood is flowing peacefully, calmly, like a warm river. Then, somewhere along the banks of that river, a small tear appears, a cut, a scrape, an injury. But instead of spilling endlessly, your body begins a finely tuned choreography. Tiny platelets, small, disc-shaped cells, rush toward the opening. They gather instantly, forming a soft, temporary wall, almost like leaves drifting together to cover a crack. They sense the injury not through thought, but through chemistry, through molecular whispers that say, something needs attention. Once they arrive, they change shape, becoming spiky and sticky, linking arms with one another to form a gentle plug. Then, proteins in your blood, over a dozen of them, begin a cascading reaction, each one activating the next in a perfect sequence. Imagine them as lights turning on one by one in the dark, creating a glowing pathway that leads to the formation of fibrin. Fibrin is like the soft thread of a spider's web. It forms delicate strands at first, then weaves itself into a strong mesh, sealing the wound from within. This clot stays only as long as it's needed. When healing begins, your body dissolves it quietly, returning the flow to its natural rhythm. Even clotting, this complex, life-saving miracle knows when to step back, when to release, when to allow movement again. But sometimes the body faces the opposite challenge: blood pressure. Imagine pressure as the gentle strength your blood uses to reach every distant corner of your body. Too low and the warmth struggles to rise, too high and the vessels feel strained. Your body manages this constant balance through tiny sensors inside your arteries, baroreceptors. They measure pressure every moment, adjusting the heartbeat, the vessel width, and even your breathing to keep everything stable. When you stand up, they act instantly, tightening vessels so your blood doesn't fall toward your feet. When you lie down, they relax, letting the pressure ease. When you feel stressed, they sense the tension in your arteries. When you feel calm, they soften, allowing the blood to flow gently. Every second, they listen, respond, and adapt without you ever noticing. And deeper still, your blood forms a partnership with your lungs, a connection so synchronized it feels like a dance. When you breathe in, oxygen enters the tiny air sacs of your lungs. Your blood arrives at that exact moment, flowing through fragile capillaries so thin that a single red blood cell must squeeze through one at a time. Here, hemoglobin, the quiet worker inside each red blood cell, grabs onto oxygen like carrying tiny lanterns. Then your blood carries these lanterns through your arteries to every cell that needs light. On the way back, your blood collects carbon dioxide, the soft residue of your body's energy. It delivers it to your lungs, where you breathe it out effortlessly. Every breath becomes an exchange, a rhythm of give and receive. And deeper still, your blood communicates with your immune system. White blood cells float through your bloodstream like gentle guardians, drifting quietly until something threatens your balance. Some patrol constantly. Others stay hidden until they're needed. When bacteria, viruses, or damaged cells appear, your immune cells wake instantly, guided by chemical signals. They move toward the problem, slipping through vessel walls, reaching places your blood cannot fully enter. They work to restore harmony, cleaning, repairing, rebuilding, soothing. Then they return to rest, waiting again in silence. Your blood also transports emotions, not in a metaphorical way, but literally. Hormones travel through your bloodstream as messengers. When you're joyful, dopamine and serotonin drift through your blood, spreading warmth. When you're frightened, adrenaline pulses through your vessels, raising your heart rate. When you're in love, oxytocin flows, creating a sense of connection. When you're relaxed, endorphins move like soft waves of comfort. Blood is not only physical, it carries the chemical essence of every mood, every reaction, every memory your body holds. And there is something beautiful in the idea that your bloodstream, not your thoughts alone, helps you feel. Even your sleep is shaped gently by your blood. Melatonin, the hormone of night, flows through it when the lights dim. As you drift, warm blood spreads to your hands and feet, signaling your body that it is safe to rest. Your heart rate slows, your vessels widen, and your blood continues circulating, quieter now, softer, as if whispering you into deeper rest. And perhaps the most astonishing truth is that all of this, clotting, circulation, oxygen exchange, immune protection, emotional chemistry, happens every moment without your awareness. It is a system so complex that no machine on earth can fully replicate it. Yet your body does it effortlessly, continuously, lovingly. Your blood is your oldest companion. It flowed in you before you were born. It protected you before you could breathe. It fed you before you could eat. It warmed you before you could feel. And it will continue flowing, hour after hour, day after day, carrying life quietly through the corridors of your body. As you drift even deeper into this quiet inner world, imagine your bloodstream widening like a gentle river entering a vast, ancient valley. Down here, in this softer and more spacious space, you begin to notice subtle variations in how blood behaves, differences that reveal both its vulnerability and its astonishing strength. Blood is powerful, but it is also delicate, and sometimes its balance shifts. One of the most common shifts is anemia, a condition where your body doesn't have enough healthy red blood cells or enough hemoglobin to carry oxygen. Picture hemoglobin as tiny boats that ferry oxygen. In anemia, there are fewer boats. Or they are too small, or they are not sturdy enough, or they simply carry less oxygen than your body needs. When that happens, your blood still flows, still works, still tries its best, but the world inside feels a little quieter, a little slower. You may feel tired more easily, not because you are weak, but because your cells are calling softly for more oxygen. The bloodstream hears this call, even if you don't. And in this inner landscape, anemia appears not as darkness or danger, but as a pale mist drifting through the river, thinning the flow slightly, making everything gentler. Most of the time, this mist comes from low iron, because iron is the mineral that helps hemoglobin carry oxygen. Without iron, hemoglobin becomes like a lantern with no flame, beautifully made, perfectly shaped, but unable to glow. Your body needs iron from food, from plants, from grains, from meat, from the earth itself. When you eat iron-rich foods, imagine them falling into your bloodstream like small glowing embers, warming the river, strengthening the boats, brightening the lanterns. Vitamin C helps those embers spark, while calcium makes them fade. Your body has learned this chemistry through thousands of generations. And anemia isn't the only story blood can tell. Sometimes the body makes too many red blood cells, thickening the river. Sometimes it forms too few platelets, making clotting slower. Sometimes white blood cells increase to fight tiny invaders. These are not failures. They are improvisations, adaptations, responses. The bloodstream is always negotiating, always adjusting, always listening. And deeper still, across millions of years, blood itself has evolved. Imagine going back in time, far beyond cities, kingdoms, and language, back to when early creatures floated in warm oceans. They didn't have blood like ours. Their bodies were small enough to let oxygen slip in directly from the water around them. But as life grew larger, more complex, more active, nature shaped the earliest circulatory systems, simple loops of fluid moving through tiny channels. Over time, those loops expanded and specialized. Some creatures developed blue blood, using copper instead of iron to transport oxygen. Others evolved green or even violet blood based on different proteins. But for humans, iron became the metal life depended on. Iron gave blood its deep red color. Iron allowed hemoglobin to carry more oxygen than almost any molecule on Earth. Iron turned blood into a river of energy. Our ancestors survived because of it, running farther, healing faster, thinking more clearly, exploring more boldly. Blood did not just support life. Blood shaped the story of humanity. And now, thousands of generations later, the same ancient river flows inside you. Your blood carries the memory of early oceans, the strength of your ancestors, the chemistry of your emotions, and the blueprint of your future. And when something changes, when anemia appears, when cells shift, when iron dips or rises, your body responds with the same ancient intelligence. It adapts. It learns. It repairs. It remembers. Your blood is not fragile. It is resilient. And even in conditions or disorders, even in imbalance, it is trying every moment to find harmony again, to keep flowing, to keep healing, to keep you alive in the quiet, continuous way it always has. As you drift deeper into this warm red river, the current begins to reveal something even more mysterious. the astonishing diversity of human blood. Most people know the common types, A, B, AB, and O, but what many don't realize is that the blood inside humanity is far more varied, far more ancient, far more intricate than those four letters suggest. Imagine passing a gentle glowing stone submerged beneath the surface of your bloodstream, and as you approach it, symbols begin to shimmer across it. Not just A or B or O, but dozens, even hundreds of hidden markers. Your blood type is like a signature, a pattern carved into your red blood cells, a quiet code your immune system uses to recognize what belongs to you and what doesn't. Among the rarest of these signatures is the mysterious Rh, sometimes called golden blood. Picture it as a rare, faintly glowing droplet, almost completely blank, with none of the usual antigens decorating its surface. Only a tiny handful of people on Earth have it, fewer than 50 known individuals. For them, every drop of donated blood is precious, difficult to find, almost like finding a star that matches your own. And beyond that, there are others. Bombay blood group, with its uniquely missing H antigen, appearing in just a few families around the world. Other rare markers, hidden in certain regions, pass down quietly through generations like ancient relics. They are not magic. They are simply variations written into our genetic history, reminders that blood has been evolving, splitting, merging, adapting across thousands of years of human movement. And this diversity has a purpose. Your immune system, the silent guardian roaming your bloodstream, depends on these markers to protect you. Imagine your white blood cells as soft, glowing guardians walking along the riverbank, listening, watching, not with fear but with gentle vigilance. They sense when something feels familiar and when something feels unfamiliar. They aren't angry. They aren't violent. They are simply responding to patterns, like a forest listening for footsteps it doesn't recognize. When viruses appear, white blood cells communicate in pulses of light. When bacteria drift in, they release chemical messages that ripple through your bloodstream like tiny waves. When you get a cut, platelets rush in, forming a delicate, shimmering net to stop the bleeding, not hurried, not chaotic, but with exquisite timing. Clotting is one of the most breathtaking processes your body performs. Imagine a rip forming in the riverbank. Instantly, your body senses the change in pressure. Platelets shift shape, becoming sticky and star-like, clustering at the opening to seal it. Then proteins flow toward the site, weaving together like an invisible thread, forming a temporary barrier. This is clotting, a symphony that happens silently, every day, often without you ever knowing. But sometimes clotting becomes too strong, forming clots when they are not needed. Other times, clotting becomes too weak, making bleeding last longer. Even these imbalances are not failures. They are signals, gentle messages from your blood asking you to understand its needs. And deep beneath these everyday processes lies something even older, the constant rebirth of your blood. Every second, your bone marrow creates millions of new red blood cells. Picture vast glowing orchards within your bones, each one producing tiny, bright apples of oxygen-carrying cells. They are born soft and flexible, ready to bend and twist through even the narrowest capillaries. They live for about 120 days, then drift gently to the spleen, a quiet filtration garden, where old or damaged cells are lovingly removed, recycled, renewed. Nothing is wasted. Everything is repurposed. Iron is saved, proteins reused. Your blood is not a static river, it is a living cycle, constantly refreshing itself, constantly adjusting to your life, your emotions, your choices. And you can feel it now, this warm circulation of life, this delicate balance, this ancient intelligence flowing through every corner of your body. And as you continue floating through this quiet inner river, the flow becomes steadier, more rhythmic, almost like a gentle heartbeat surrounding you from every side. This rhythm is shaped by something you feel every day without noticing, your blood pressure. It is the soft push your heart gives each time it contracts, sending warmth through your veins. Imagine the pressure not as numbers or measurements, but as waves in a calm ocean, sometimes rising when life rushes toward you, sometimes lowering when your body feels safe enough to loosen its grip. Blood pressure changes when you breathe, when you feel emotions, when you move, when you rest. It is never still. It listens to your life, responding quietly to every breath and every thought. If stress builds in your day, imagine the river tightening, its banks narrowing slightly, making the water press harder as it flows. But when you rest, Like now, the banks widen again, the current slows, and everything softens. Your circulatory system is a map of warm roads branching outward from your heart. Major highways of arteries carrying oxygen-rich blood to your organs, peaceful returning pathways of veins bringing deoxygenated blood back home, and countless tiny capillaries where the actual exchange happens. Oxygen flowing out, carbon dioxide flowing in, nutrients slipping into cells as waste products drift away. These capillaries are so small that red blood cells have to bend themselves to squeeze through, moving one by one like quiet travelers passing along a narrow trail. Without this endless cycle, every part of your body would fade. But because your blood keeps moving, every corner of you is nourished, warmed, and connected. And if you listen closely, beneath this physical movement lies something even more subtle, the emotional landscape carried within your blood. Your blood is not just a delivery system. It is a messenger. It transports the chemicals of your feelings, the hormones that rise when you're stressed, the neurotransmitters that calm you when you feel safe, the signals that shift when you're sad, excited, angry, or peaceful. When you feel fear, your adrenal glands release epinephrine, and it travels through your bloodstream like a sudden spark. When you feel loved or connected, oxytocin flows softly, widening your vessels, making your heart beat a little more gently. When you feel grief, cortisol rises in slow, heavy waves, moving through your blood like a dim fog. Your emotions are not just in your mind, they are in your blood as well. Your bloodstream becomes a diary of your experiences, a moving record of how you're feeling moment by moment. Even ancient cultures sensed this connection. They believed blood carried life force, courage, ancestry, memory. Warriors from old civilizations described the heat of blood before battle. Healers believed inner balance could be felt in the pulse. In myths, blood often symbolized life, spirit, transformation. Though the language has changed, the feeling remains. Your blood is deeply connected to your identity, your history, your emotional world. Imagine now drifting into a deeper chamber of your inner landscape, where the circulation slows just enough for you to sense the warmth lingering in every vessel. Here, blood feels like a gentle tide moving beneath your skin. Imagine each heartbeat sending a soft push, not forceful, just steady and reassuring. Every pulse carries oxygen to your brain, allowing you to think and dream. Every pulse brings nutrients to your muscles, allowing you to move and heal. Every pulse carries signals that let your organs communicate, like quiet whispers traveling through a long corridor. And this rhythm changes throughout your life. When you're a child, your heart beats quickly, pumping fresh energy into growing tissues. As you grow older, the rhythm settles, becoming more efficient, more measured. With age, blood vessels can stiffen slightly, making the pulse a little harder. But your body adapts endlessly, forming new vessels, strengthening pathways, adjusting pressure depending on what you need. Even now, as you rest, your body is making micro-adjustments to keep you balanced, widening a vessel here, tightening another there, redistributing warmth to keep every organ comfortable. Your blood is not just a fluid. It is a responsive, intelligent system that works with you, not against you. It mirrors your life, your highs, your lows, your quiet moments of clarity. And with each breath you take now, you're helping it move more freely. You're telling your vessels to relax. You're telling your heart that there is no rush. You're telling your nervous system that this moment is safe enough to let go. With each breath, picture your heart sending gentle pulses through this river, a rhythm so steady that it almost disappears into the background, yet without it, life itself would halt. Every heartbeat is a whisper. I am here. I am sustaining you. I am holding everything together. As your awareness drifts along this inner river, notice the colors, the textures, the life that flows unseen most of the time. Red, deep and vibrant, carries oxygen from the lungs to every cell, feeding the tiny engines within you that never rest. Each cell it touches receives a silent gift, a chance to work, to move, to grow. But blood is more than oxygen. It carries nutrients, hormones, antibodies, and countless invisible signals, each moving quietly, precisely, purposefully. Some drops carry messages of healing, rushing to areas of injury, clotting when necessary, protecting you in ways you rarely notice. Others move like gentle shadows, informing your immune system that all is well, or signaling when it is not. Even now, in the quiet of your evening, this river flows, performing its ancient, tireless dance. As you drift further into this visualization, consider the rare types of blood that exist. Some people carry rare antigens, invisible markers that make their blood uniquely suited to certain circumstances and incompatible with others. These rare types are like hidden jewels in a vast ocean, quietly powerful, silently shaping life and survival. Imagine the subtle differences in each drop, the way some carry a rare rhythm, a quiet potential that most will never encounter, yet it exists, unseen and undisturbed in the body of someone, somewhere right now. Blood also carries memory. Not memory like thoughts or images, but history written into the molecules themselves, traces of infections past, hints of stress, remnants of nutrients long consumed. It remembers, in the softest way, the story of your life, marking it in protein patterns, in immune responses, in cells that cycle quietly and predictably. You do not see it, you do not hear it, yet your blood knows these histories, carrying them through the arteries and veins, always moving, always alive. As you continue to breathe slowly, imagine tracing a single red drop through your body. Watch it leave the heart, flow through the arteries, reach the fingertips, sink into capillaries so small that your mind cannot grasp their width. Feel it pause, even briefly, to deliver oxygen and nutrients, to pick up carbon dioxide and carry it back, an unending exchange, a silent service. And then watch it return to the heart, ready to begin again, a cycle so steady and dependable that it forms the quiet backbone of your existence. Now picture the veins, the quieter paths where blood returns to the heart, carrying the spent oxygen, carrying the signals of effort and rest, of stress and calm. They move more slowly, but purposefully, gently, bringing everything back into balance. Blood is a constant negotiation, a continuous conversation between what the body needs and what the environment provides, a delicate balance maintained without effort, yet sustained through billions of tiny, perfect interactions. Even within this river of life, there are moments of change. Sometimes blood thickens, sometimes it slows, sometimes it rushes. It reacts to the tiniest shifts, a thought, an emotion, a change in temperature, a movement of the muscles. Every sensation, every heartbeat, every pulse through your body alters its course in subtle, precise ways. Imagine these shifts not as chaos, but as the elegant, ancient intelligence of a system that has evolved over millions of years, always adapting, always responding, always maintaining life. And as you imagine this flow, consider the power of caring for it. Gentle movements, nourishing foods, quiet breathing, calm thoughts, all of these influence the river, not with force but with subtle guidance. Blood responds to kindness, to calm, to attention. The warmth of your body, the softness of your mind, the rhythm of your breath, all are invitations for it to move more freely, to carry life more easily, to nurture the unseen corners of your body. As you drift deeper into this quiet exploration, imagine the blood as a living map of your body, a network of highways and rivers, all moving in harmony, all carrying messages you do not consciously notice. Consider the white blood cells, the silent guardians of your internal world. They float along the crimson river, patrolling, observing, responding when danger appears, quietly protecting you without fanfare or recognition. Picture them moving like tiny lanterns, scanning every corner, every crevice of tissue, ready to confront threats and maintain balance. Platelets, too, perform their delicate, precise work. When a minor cut appears, they rush to the scene, weaving together a gentle patch to stop bleeding, a quiet act of repair that goes unnoticed in the rhythm of your daily life. Plasma, the fluid itself, carries the warmth, the nutrients, the hormones, the chemical signals that orchestrate the invisible symphony of your being. Each component of blood, from the largest cell to the smallest protein molecule, has a purpose, a role in sustaining life that is as constant and reliable as the sunrise. As you imagine this river of life, consider the rare blood types, the extraordinary variations that exist within humanity. Some are so uncommon that they can only be transfused in very specific circumstances. These rare types carry with them not just a practical uniqueness, but a silent, almost mystical significance, a reminder of how diverse and intricate life is, even at the microscopic level. Imagine the subtle variations, the tiny differences in antigens and markers, each one a small, silent signature, a quiet testament to evolution, history, and the adaptability of the human body. Blood is also deeply connected to emotion. You may have noticed your heart racing when frightened, or your cheeks flushing with excitement or embarrassment. These subtle changes are reflected in the flow of your blood, a dance between body and mind, a mirror of your internal world. When you feel calm, your blood flows gently, evenly, carrying warmth and oxygen without resistance. When you are stressed, it quickens, pulses faster, and reminds you that your body and mind are always in conversation, always responding to each other in ways too subtle for words alone. Now imagine the life of a single red blood cell. Born in the marrow of your bones, it embarks on a journey that will last a few months, moving through the lungs to gather oxygen, traveling through arteries to deliver it to every tissue, returning through veins carrying carbon dioxide, repeating this cycle thousands of times before it quietly retires. Each cell is a tiny, tireless traveler, a worker in the unseen factory of life. Together, they form a chorus, a living stream of purpose, dedication, and quiet perseverance. As you continue to breathe slowly, picture the nutrients that travel along with your blood. Glucose, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, each carried to the cells that need them, each drop a lifeline, a gentle nourishment, a quiet act of care from your body to itself. And imagine the carbon dioxide and other wastes traveling back toward the heart and lungs, a gentle reminder that even what seems like excess or burden has a role, a purpose, a place where it can be released and transformed. Consider the ways blood changes over time. With age, with experience, with environment, its components shift, subtly adapting to the history you have lived. Sometimes it thickens, sometimes it slows, sometimes it flows with greater ease. Every lifestyle choice, the foods you eat, the exercises you perform, the moments of rest and sleep you take, influences this river in delicate, profound ways. By caring for your body and your mind, you're also caring for this quiet, essential river, guiding it toward balance, harmony, and resilience. Even now, as you lie comfortably and breathe slowly, the blood in your body continues its tireless work. It communicates with your organs, feeds your cells, protects your tissues, and mirrors your emotional state. It is the silent engine of your life, moving with precision, adapting with grace, performing feats that defy conscious thought, yet sustaining everything you are. Imagine the warmth it carries, the gentle hum of its movement, the quiet reliability that flows with each heartbeat. And as your awareness deepens, you may notice the connection between blood and rest. Sleep allows your blood to perform repairs it cannot do while you are awake. Tissues heal, inflammation reduces, cells rejuvenate, and the river flows with greater ease. Imagine the red cells moving more slowly, the white cells pausing to assess and repair, the platelets quietly ensuring that minor injuries are attended to, all in the gentle hush of rest. Blood, in these moments, carries not just life, but renewal, quiet recovery, and subtle restoration, whispering to every part of your body that safety and peace are present. Now, as you drift even deeper into this gentle awareness, imagine your blood vessels as vast networks of tunnels, highways, and streams, each lined with smooth walls that guide the flow with care and precision. Arteries, thick and muscular, carry oxygen-rich blood from the heart to every corner of your body. Veins, more flexible, return the spent blood back to the heart, completing the quiet, continuous cycle that sustains life. Capillaries, tiny and delicate, form a web so fine it seems almost magical, delivering nutrients and oxygen directly to your cells, absorbing the whispers of waste, and connecting the microcosm of your tissues with the grand river of your circulation. Visualize the heart, a tireless drummer in the center of this orchestra, beating rhythmically, calmly, without pause. Each contraction sends waves of blood pulsing outward, and each relaxation draws the river back, preparing it for another journey. The heart does not hesitate, does not falter. It simply moves with perfect timing, sustaining every moment of your life, even in sleep. Imagine how the heart adapts, how it changes with your lifestyle, your emotions, and even the seasons of your life, quietly adjusting its strength and rhythm to meet the needs of your body. Think of the ways you can nurture this system. Gentle movement, stretching, and exercise help maintain the elasticity of arteries and veins, ensuring smooth circulation. Proper nutrition, rich in iron, vitamins, antioxidants, and omega-3 fatty acids, fuels your blood with the resources it needs to flow effortlessly. Even simple practices like mindful breathing, meditation, and moments of calm can influence blood flow, lowering pressure, reducing stress, and encouraging a state of internal harmony. Each choice you make, each gentle habit, supports the quiet miracle that moves tirelessly within you. Blood also tells the story of your body's history. Past illnesses, minor injuries, long-forgotten infections, all leave subtle traces in this living river. White blood cells remember, antibodies linger, and even the balance of nutrients shifts with the rhythms of your past. Your blood is a living record, a journal that flows through your veins, capturing the nuances of your life with every beat of your heart. Imagine this quietly, like sunlight reflecting on a calm stream, each shimmer a memory, a lesson, a trace of resilience. Now think about the rarest of blood types, those that occur in only a fraction of humanity. These types carry a subtle mystique, an almost secret uniqueness. They remind us of the incredible diversity within the human species, the intricate ways evolution has shaped life, and the delicate balance that allows survival under varying conditions. Imagine the antigens on these cells, tiny flags that define compatibility, uniqueness, and adaptability. Each rare type is a quiet testament to the complexity and beauty of life, a small but powerful reminder that even in the microscopic, there is wonder. Blood is also a messenger of emotion. When you blush, when your pulse quickens with excitement, when fear or anticipation courses through you, your blood responds immediately. It reflects your inner world, mirroring the subtle changes in your mind and body. Imagine this as a soft wave moving through the rivers and streams within you, connecting mind and body in a dance too subtle for words, but always present, always responsive. Your blood knows your fears, your joys, your calm, and your excitement long before you recognize them consciously. As you lie here, fully aware, visualize the journey of a single drop of blood. Born in the marrow, nourished in the lungs, traveling through arteries, feeding tissues, returning through veins, and repeating this cycle countless times, day after day. Every drop is tireless, dedicated, a silent laborer sustaining life without recognition. Together, millions of these drops form a river that flows with purpose, carrying warmth, oxygen, nutrients, and protection to every cell. Every heartbeat strengthens this rhythm, every breath supports it, every calm thought encourages its flow. Now consider the relationship between blood and rest. Sleep allows your blood to perform repairs impossible during wakefulness. Tissues regenerate, inflammation calms, immune responses strengthen, and the flow becomes smooth, effortless. Imagine your red blood cells moving gently, your white blood cells pausing to repair, platelets quietly attending to minor damage, all under the soft cover of restorative rest. Blood in these moments is not just life. It is healing, renewal, and quiet restoration, a gentle whisper of vitality through every vessel and tissue. As you breathe deeply, imagine the chemical messages traveling along this river. Hormones, neurotransmitters, enzymes, and nutrients all move in synchrony, each interaction precise, each effect deliberate, even if unseen. Your body is a living symphony, and your blood is the conductor, coordinating, connecting, and harmonizing the work of countless organs, tissues, and cells. It communicates constantly, sometimes in moments of alarm, sometimes in gentle, sustained signals that maintain balance, warmth, and function. Even now, as you imagine this flowing network, the blood continues to adapt to your needs. It thickens or thins slightly, carries warmth or cools the tissues, responds to subtle shifts in posture or thought, mirrors your internal state, and prepares your body to face each moment with readiness and grace. You are a partner in this process, a gentle guardian, a conscious observer whose awareness nurtures the flow and encourages harmony. Now, as you allow yourself to sink further into this calm exploration, imagine the delicate balance that blood maintains within your body. It is not just a river of life, but also a finely tuned system of checks and balances. Blood pressure, heart rate, and oxygen levels adjust silently, responding to your thoughts, emotions, and movements. Even small changes, like the warmth of your hand against a cup or the slow rhythm of your breathing, ripple through this system, subtly shifting the flow, calming turbulence, smoothing every vessel from your largest arteries to your tiniest capillaries. Consider the nutrients carried within this river: oxygen, glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals. Each one travels with purpose, delivered precisely to the cells that need it most. Imagine a neuron receiving a steady stream of oxygen and glucose, the fuel it needs to spark your thoughts and memories. Picture muscle fibers replenished with amino acids after gentle movement, ready to stretch or relax with ease. Visualize every organ, every tissue, nourished by this invisible network, a constant support that is both strong and gentle, relentless yet patient. Blood also carries defense. White blood cells move like quiet sentinels, patrolling your body for intruders, pathogens, and damage. Platelets linger at microinjuries, forming gentle clots to prevent bleeding, while antibodies circulate as vigilant guides, remembering past encounters and providing protection without fanfare. Each component performs its role without pause, without complaint, orchestrating a quiet defense that protects your body moment by moment. Imagine this silent vigilance as a gentle glow, spreading through the vessels, a soft light that reassures you of your resilience and strength. Now reflect on the emotional connections with your blood. When you experience fear, excitement, love, or calm, your blood responds instantly. Hormones travel through this flowing network, signaling changes, adjusting responses, preparing your body to face the world. Adrenaline increases, blood vessels narrow or widen, heart rate shifts, all to support your needs in real time. Even joy and laughter ripple through this system, enhancing circulation, lifting oxygen levels, and invigorating every tissue with subtle energy. Your blood mirrors your inner life, a quiet but faithful companion that flows in harmony with your body and mind. Imagine now the rare blood types, the unique variations that occur in a small percentage of humans. Each rare type carries an invisible story, a hidden history of evolution, migration, and adaptation. These types remind us that blood is not uniform, that within its flow lies diversity, resilience, and subtle uniqueness. Consider the Rh-negative types, the Bombay blood group, or other rare antigens, each one a reminder of the complexity that exists beneath the surface, a whisper of wonder flowing through your veins. Now drift deeper into the relationship between blood and rest. During sleep, your body performs extraordinary maintenance. Red blood cells rejuvenate, white blood cells strengthen, platelets repair minor injuries, and chemical balances are restored. Blood moves in a slightly slower, calmer rhythm, optimizing repair and restoration. Imagine each pulse and wave as a soothing lullaby, carrying restoration to tissues, calming inflammation, and reinforcing the quiet resilience that sustains life. Sleep is not just rest. It is an intimate partnership with your blood, a gentle, nightly ritual of repair and renewal. Consider the impact of gentle movement and exercise on this flowing river. Walking, stretching, yoga, and even slow, mindful motions encourage smooth circulation, increase oxygen delivery, and stimulate the creation of new capillaries. Imagine the blood speeding gently through your legs as you walk, reaching the tips of your fingers and toes, invigorating every cell, every tiny corner of your body. Exercise is not a burden. It is a quiet celebration of your body's natural design, a gentle encouragement that keeps the river of blood flowing effortlessly. Nutrition also plays a vital role in maintaining this river. Iron-rich foods, leafy greens, lean proteins, berries, nuts, and fatty acids act as gentle fuel, supporting red blood cell production, enhancing oxygen delivery, and protecting vessels from damage. Vitamins like C, K, and B-complex, along with minerals like magnesium and zinc, work silently to strengthen the walls of arteries and capillaries, ensuring smooth flow and reducing inflammation. Imagine each nutrient as a tiny companion, entering your blood, traveling to every cell, nourishing and protecting in perfect synchrony. Your awareness itself influences this system. When you breathe slowly, when you relax your muscles, when you imagine warmth and calm spreading through your body, blood flow responds. Vessels dilate gently, pressure normalizes, oxygen delivery improves, and inflammation decreases. Visualization, meditation, and conscious breathing are more than calming rituals. They are gentle, powerful ways to guide your blood, to nurture the river that sustains your life silently, moment by moment. Finally, imagine the vastness of this network. Millions of vessels, trillions of cells, each moving with quiet purpose, each responding to subtle cues from your mind, body, and environment. Blood is life, memory, emotion, repair, and connection. It carries the past, nourishes the present, and supports the future. And as you lie here, fully immersed in this awareness, your blood flows steadily, effortlessly, reminding you of the quiet miracle within, the gentle, endless rhythm that sustains your existence, even as the world outside drifts into calm. Consider now how exercise influences this flow. Gentle stretching, slow walking, or mindful yoga can awaken parts of your circulatory system that often lie dormant. Imagine your calves and thighs as reservoirs of energy, your arms and hands as conduits for vitality. With each small movement, blood accelerates slightly, reaching even the tiniest capillaries in your fingertips and toes. Your heart beats in a slightly stronger, more purposeful rhythm, encouraging oxygen and nutrients to reach areas that were previously resting. Every cell feels this shift, and in this quiet way, your body thanks you for your care, for your awareness, for your gentle attention to its needs. Now, picture your blood carrying more than just oxygen and nutrients. It carries stories, chemical messages, hormones that whisper instructions, neurotransmitters that signal responses, enzymes that orchestrate repair. Adrenaline may flow when you feel sudden excitement, endorphins rise when you laugh softly in the middle of the night, melatonin moves subtly as your body prepares for sleep. Each wave is quiet, unseen, yet profound, shaping your sensations, your energy, and even your emotional state. Imagine these molecules traveling gracefully through your veins, a silent orchestra performing a symphony for your body, your mind, your very being. Think about rare types of blood again. Some types carry unique antigens, making them precious and extraordinary. Rh-negative types, Bombay blood group, and other rare variations are not just anomalies, they are living history. They are markers of evolution, migration, adaptation, and survival. Imagine your blood as a tapestry, woven over millennia, each unique pattern a thread connecting you to generations past, to the resilience embedded within your very cells. These rare types remind you of the diversity and wonder that exist within something so common, something so essential, something you may take for granted each day. Now drift deeper into the relationship between blood and rest. During sleep, this river slows into a serene, measured rhythm. Red blood cells rejuvenate, white blood cells strengthen, and platelets repair microscopic injuries. Even minor hormonal shifts, like the rise of growth hormone or the calm release of melatonin, influence circulation in subtle ways. Imagine each pulse and flow as a soft lullaby, moving through your veins, calming, restoring, repairing. Sleep is not just an absence of activity. It is a sophisticated partnership with your blood, a nightly opportunity for restoration, repair, and preparation for another day of life. Nutrition shapes this river in profound ways. Iron-rich foods like leafy greens, legumes, and lean meats support the production of red blood cells, enhancing oxygen transport. Vitamins such as B12 and folate, found in foods like eggs and fortified grains, help maintain healthy blood cell formation. Antioxidants from berries, nuts, and seeds reduce oxidative stress, protecting vessel walls from damage. Healthy fats, like omega-3s in salmon and walnuts, reduce inflammation and support smooth circulation. Imagine each bite of food entering your bloodstream, traveling silently yet purposefully to nourish, protect, and invigorate every part of you. Now consider the emotional aspect once more. Blood is not just physical, it is an intimate reflection of your feelings. When you experience calm, your vessels dilate gently, your heart rate normalizes, and oxygen delivery is optimized. When you feel anxiety, stress, or fear, blood shifts subtly, preparing the body to react, to defend, to protect. Your blood mirrors your internal world, a silent, constant companion responding to your inner state. Through gentle awareness, through slow breathing, through visualization, you can influence these flows, guiding your blood into harmony, into rhythm, into balance. Let us explore blood circulation exercises further. Imagine raising your arms slowly above your head, stretching the chest, opening the shoulders. Each gentle motion encourages blood to flow more efficiently, stimulating veins and arteries. Picture a slow rotation of your ankles and wrists, sending gentle pulses through the extremities. These small movements awaken dormant pathways, enhancing oxygen delivery and circulation in ways that often go unnoticed. As you move, the blood responds, flowing with increased ease, reaching places that were resting, nourishing every tissue it touches. Visualize now the rare and subtle variations that occur in your blood. Some individuals carry unique antibodies that are incredibly rare, while others have unusual clotting factors or plasma compositions. These differences, while unseen, influence how each person responds to illness, healing, and even daily life. Imagine your own blood as a quiet library of history, genetics, and adaptation, each drop containing countless tiny stories of resilience and survival, a personal and invisible legacy flowing quietly through your veins. Finally, allow yourself to rest in this awareness. Your blood moves steadily, rhythmically, a silent testament to life itself. Every heartbeat, every pulse, every microflow contributes to a quiet miracle that sustains you endlessly. Visualize it moving through every capillary, nourishing every cell, carrying messages, oxygen, nutrients, and history. As you lie here, feel the gentle support of this system, the quiet care it provides, the endless rhythm of circulation that connects mind, body, and soul. Blood is more than life. It is continuity, it is connection. It is the soft, ever-present hum of existence that flows through you every moment. Now, let your mind drift further into the hidden intricacies of blood, into the delicate balance that keeps you alive yet often unnoticed. Imagine tiny vessels, arterioles, and capillaries spreading like a delicate lace across your body, each one carrying vital life in the form of red, white, and platelets. They are small yet mighty, resilient yet flexible, adapting with each movement, each breath, each thought. Picture these vessels as shimmering threads of light, carrying nutrients and oxygen to every corner of your being, a quiet network that hums with precision, always attentive, always present. Consider the white blood cells, moving silently, searching for anything that could harm you, identifying, neutralizing, repairing. They are the guardians, ever vigilant, moving through this vast landscape with an unspoken purpose. Imagine them as soft, glowing particles, floating gracefully, dancing between the arteries and veins, responding to your body's subtle whispers of need. Their presence is a reminder that even when you feel perfectly still, your body is alive with action, constantly maintaining balance, silently defending your health. Red blood cells glide alongside them, carrying oxygen harvested from your lungs, distributing it to every tissue. Imagine each one as a tiny boat, flowing steadily with the current, releasing life-giving air into muscles, nerves, organs, and skin. Without these small, tireless travelers, every movement, thought, and sensation would be impossible. The flow is constant, but it is not static. It adapts to your needs, increasing when you move, slowing when you rest, always matching your body's rhythm, a perfect, silent harmony. Now, turn your attention to the plasma, the clear fluid that carries not just cells but proteins, hormones, and nutrients, connecting every part of you. Visualize it as a gentle, golden river, smooth and luminous, carrying messages that guide growth, repair, and balance. Plasma is the subtle whisper of your body's story, a liquid medium that responds to both internal and external signals, ensuring that your internal world remains in sync with your external environment. Imagine it moving slowly, intentionally, supporting every function with a quiet, unassuming wisdom. As you settle further into this awareness, let's explore rare types of blood. Some carry unusual antigens that make them invaluable in certain medical situations. Others hold genetic traits that are so uncommon they appear in only a handful of people worldwide. Imagine the uniqueness of each drop of your blood, a reflection of your ancestry, evolution, and survival. These rare types are a testament to diversity and resilience, reminding you of the incredible complexity and beauty flowing quietly through your body every day. Each rare characteristic is like a secret treasure, hidden yet vital, a soft echo of history within your veins. Now, consider the emotional connection to blood once again. When you feel fear, excitement, or love, your blood responds. It carries adrenaline when you are startled. It carries warmth when you are comforted. It flows in harmony when your mind is calm and your body is relaxed. Picture this invisible response as a gentle wave moving through every vessel, adjusting, balancing, responding to your inner world. Blood is not just physical. It is a reflection of your emotional landscape, a partner in the dance of body and mind. Imagine now the exercises that can enhance blood circulation. Gentle stretches awaken dormant pathways, mindful breathing encourages oxygenation, and slow movements engage muscles, encouraging vessels to expand and contract naturally. Picture your legs and arms flowing with gentle motion, blood responding with increased speed and strength, nourishing every capillary, every tiny nook and cranny of your body. Each small movement is a conversation with your circulatory system, a way to honor and support the continuous rhythm of life within you. Nutrition continues to play a vital role. Iron-rich foods strengthen red blood cells, antioxidants protect the delicate vessel walls, and healthy fats keep the flow smooth and flexible. Imagine each bite entering your bloodstream as soft beams of energy, traveling purposefully to every organ, every cell. Vitamins and minerals act as gentle guides, directing nutrients to where they are most needed, ensuring your blood carries the best possible support to the entire body. Visualize this nourishment moving silently, constantly, in perfect harmony with the rhythm of your heartbeat. Now, let's explore disorders and challenges within this system. Blood can sometimes become too thick or too thin, clotting when it should not, or failing to carry oxygen efficiently. Imagine these disturbances as subtle waves of turbulence in the normally smooth river of circulation. Awareness, care, nutrition, and rest can help restore balance. Picture each wave softening, calming, settling into the natural rhythm again, each heartbeat correcting, each breath aiding, each gentle movement contributing to harmony. Finally, drift deeper into the understanding that blood is both a messenger and a nurturer. It carries information about your physical needs, your emotional state, and even your genetic history. It is a silent companion, a constant witness to your life, flowing unceasingly, responding to each change, each emotion, each choice you make. Lie back and imagine the gentle pulse through your veins, the steady rhythm, the soft whisper of life itself, a quiet miracle happening within you right now. Your blood is not just a fluid. It is a story, a connection, a living reminder of the delicate balance and continuous care that sustains you each moment. Long before humans walked the earth, before mammals thrived, blood had already begun its journey. Imagine tiny, simple creatures in the ancient oceans, moving slowly through primordial waters, their blood thin and colorless, carrying nutrients and oxygen in a delicate dance with life itself. Over time, creatures evolved more complex circulatory systems, introducing hemoglobin, the protein that gives your blood its vivid red hue. Picture these early proteins as small, shimmering carriers, grasping oxygen molecules and passing them along in an elegant, unbroken rhythm. Each heartbeat in these ancient animals was a step toward the intricate systems you carry within you today, a rhythm that continues in every pulse of your own body. Blood's color is a story of chemistry and function. When oxygen binds to hemoglobin in your lungs, it transforms your blood into a bright, glowing red, a luminous river of energy ready to nourish every cell. Imagine this as sunlight filtering through a crystal-clear stream, the brilliance reflecting vitality and life. As blood delivers oxygen to tissues and collects carbon dioxide, it darkens slightly, adopting a deeper, richer red, almost like twilight moving across a quiet forest. This change is subtle but essential, a sign that your blood is carrying out its work with precision, trading life-giving oxygen for the removal of waste, maintaining the delicate balance of your body. Some creatures took different evolutionary paths. Imagine octopuses and horseshoe crabs, whose blood carries copper instead of iron. Their blood appears blue when oxygenated, a quiet reminder that evolution writes many stories, each one adapted to the needs of the organism. Visualize your own blood as part of this grand tapestry, a product of eons, finely tuned to support the delicate structures of your body, each drop a living testament to survival, adaptation, and balance. Now allow yourself to drift deeper, feeling the warmth of your blood as it courses through your veins. Each cell, each pulse, is connected to millions of years of history. Every heartbeat echoes the work of ancestors, of ancient organisms whose survival depended on the flow of life through their tiny bodies. In this light, your blood is not simply fluid. It is a living record, a memory of evolution, a bridge between the past and your present awareness. Consider now how this evolutionary journey affects you today. Bright blood indicates oxygen-rich vitality, ready to energize muscles, nourish organs, and support mental clarity. Darker blood is equally vital, quietly returning to the heart and lungs to refresh, to renew, to prepare for another journey through the network of life inside you. Visualize these waves of bright and deep red moving in harmony, a silent ballet of life, as if your body itself hums a lullaby of balance and continuity. Even the rarest blood types are part of this story, echoes of ancestral adaptations, markers of survival, and the quirks of genetics that have persisted through countless generations. Picture them flowing quietly alongside more common types, a gentle reminder that your circulatory system is not just functional, but extraordinary, resilient, and unique. As you breathe slowly, feel your blood pulse in every extremity. Imagine tracing it down your arms and legs, through your heart, your lungs, and back again. Sense the color changes as oxygen is absorbed and released, the way it nourishes, the way it responds to your breath and movement. Each pulse is both a whisper of evolution and a celebration of your own life, a gentle reminder that even something as ordinary as blood carries secrets, wisdom, and history. Tonight, allow yourself to rest in this awareness. Each heartbeat sends light and energy to every corner of your body. Each subtle shift between bright and dark red reminds you of your body's perfection, its complexity, and its resilience. You are connected not just to your own body, but to the millions of years of evolution that shaped it. Blood is not only life. It is memory, it is connection, it is a quiet symphony that flows ceaselessly within you, always present, always vital, and always carrying the story of life itself. Imagine, for a moment, your blood as a quiet river winding through the landscape of your body. When you experience calm, when your mind rests, this river flows smoothly, carrying vitality effortlessly to every cell. But when stress rises, when tension tightens your muscles and your breath quickens, the river becomes turbulent. Tiny chemical messengers, hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, are released, causing your blood vessels to constrict, your heart to beat faster, and your circulation to shift into survival mode. This is not harmful in the short term, but over time, chronic stress can make the river rough, less efficient, and more prone to blockages. Allow yourself to visualize this process softly. Picture the blood in your veins responding to your inner state. With each deep, slow breath, imagine the river calming, the waters smoothing, the bright red oxygen-rich blood flowing easily, washing through every corner of your body. Feel the pulse of your heart, steady and unwavering, sending reassurance through each artery, each capillary. Emotions, even subtle ones, influence this river. Happiness, contentment, gentle laughter, they release chemicals that relax blood vessels, promoting better flow. Anger, frustration, or fear can tighten these pathways, constricting the natural rhythm of circulation. Your body responds to your mind more intimately than you may realize, and your blood, the silent river within, carries this influence to every part of your being. Now imagine a gentle practice, visualization, deep breathing, or even quiet meditation. Picture your blood glowing brighter, flowing more freely with each inhale, releasing tension with each exhale. Visualize it reaching the smallest cells in your fingertips and toes, nourishing and rejuvenating. The deeper you go into this awareness, the more you recognize that your circulatory system is not just mechanical. It is responsive, intelligent, and alive, guided by both your body and your mind. Consider the subtle ways emotions shape your long-term heart and vessel health. Chronic anxiety or worry can thicken the walls of arteries over decades, while consistent joy, calm, and mindful breathing can maintain flexibility, resilience, and vitality. Your blood is both a witness and a participant in this ongoing conversation between body and mind. Tonight, allow yourself to rest in the awareness of this living river. Feel its rhythm in your chest, its flow through your limbs, the gentle rise and fall with every breath. Let your mind soften, releasing old tensions that may have influenced this current for years. Each heartbeat is a reminder that you can guide this river toward calm, toward nourishment, and toward balance. As you drift deeper, imagine your emotions settling into soft pools, each one acknowledged without judgment. The blood flows around these pools, integrating their presence gently, carrying oxygen and nutrients, clearing away residues of stress, and restoring vitality. You are both observer and participant in this process, your awareness guiding your circulatory system into harmony. Even the rarest, most unique aspects of your blood respond to this care. Your blood type, your personal chemistry, every nuance of your cardiovascular system adapts subtly to the state of your mind. In this way, the ancient story of evolution continues in each of you, responding to both your environment and your inner landscape. Tonight, allow yourself to drift with this rhythm, feeling gratitude for the tireless work of your blood. Each pulse is a reminder that life flows within you ceaselessly, that vitality is always present, and that gentle awareness can nurture a system that has been refined over millions of years. Feel the warmth, the glow, and the steady energy of your own internal river as it moves through the forest of your body, carrying life, memory, and the quiet wisdom of evolution. Within this river, there are countless tiny travelers, each performing its own vital task. The red blood cells, shaped like delicate discs, carry oxygen from your lungs to every cell, illuminating the body with life-giving energy. They glide effortlessly, stretching and bending as they pass through the smallest capillaries, ensuring every corner of your body receives the nourishment it needs. These cells are so numerous that in one drop of blood, there are millions, each one a quiet messenger of vitality. Floating alongside them are the white blood cells, guardians of your inner world. They move with purpose, detecting intruders, signaling the immune system, and protecting the delicate balance within. Lymphocytes, neutrophils, monocytes, each has a role in keeping your body safe from harm, even when you are unaware. Visualize them as silent patrols, moving through the bright rivers of your veins, alert, responsive, yet gentle, never intrusive unless required. And then there are the platelets, tiny fragments that work as artisans of repair. When your vessels are damaged, they gather at the site, forming protective clots, preventing loss and restoring flow. Each platelet is a quiet caretaker, ensuring the continuity of life with precision and care. Consider the vessels themselves, arteries, veins, and capillaries, like a vast, interconnected forest of pathways. Arteries carry the bright, oxygen-rich blood away from your heart, pulsing with energy, while veins return the darker, oxygen-depleted blood back to the heart, moving steadily, guided by valves that prevent backward flow. Capillaries are delicate, whisper-thin channels where exchange occurs, where oxygen and nutrients leave the bloodstream to nourish tissues, and waste products return to be carried away. Imagine walking along these tiny channels, noticing how they expand and contract, how flexible and responsive they are, forming an intricate network that touches every cell in your body. Now, consider the volume of blood itself, quietly circulating within you. An average adult carries about 5 liters of blood, nearly 1/8 of their body weight, a river of life that flows day and night, never stopping, even when you sleep. Feel the rhythm of this river as it pulses with each heartbeat, aware of its consistency, its warmth, its silent support. This volume is not just a number, it is the measure of life continuously sustained, a testament to the complexity and resilience of your body. As you visualize this flow, notice how each breath, each heartbeat, and each movement of your body influences the journey of every cell. The blood senses your inner states, responding to your calm or your stress, moving faster or slower, brighter or more subdued. The red blood cells continue their endless circuit, the white blood cells maintain vigilance, and the platelets prepare quietly for repair. The veins and arteries flex and stretch, ensuring life is carried to every extremity, while the capillaries whisper to the smallest tissues, exchanging sustenance and renewal. Even now, as you listen, millions of cells travel through your veins, billions of messages being delivered, thousands of repairs occurring, all without effort, all without pause. The volume, the movement, and the microscopic inhabitants of this river are your silent companions, always present, always supporting, always alive. Imagine the elegance of this system over time, how evolution shaped these cells, how their structures adapted for maximum efficiency, how the veins and arteries developed valves and elasticity, and how the volume of blood was carefully balanced to meet the demands of energy, temperature regulation, and tissue maintenance. Every heartbeat you feel is a continuation of a process refined over millions of years, a rhythm perfectly synchronized with life itself.